Hello guys, uh, today's video is quite an interesting one. This video is a introspective video. It's more of a reflective video of who I was and who I am today and who I strive to be. Because I believe I deprive a lot of people of this information, of the type of person they see versus the type of person they think they know. And this past month has been a beautiful, beautiful self-exploration month where I had to look deep within myself to to find out what didn't work out for me, to find out the negativities I needed to remove, such as negative habits, and to strive to be a better being. And I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned to accept myself as who I am, who I was, because my past experiences is what helped me, what pushed me to be the person I am today. And I am grateful for all those experiences. And if I had to go back, I wouldn't change anything. So this month has been a beautiful month. I've learned to, be honest to myself, not only to myself, but to other people as well. You know, to be honest with yourself is to look deep within you, to see what doesn't benefit you, and to see what what you need to work on to improve your life and to improve the life of the people around you. And I've come to the realization that it's not how people perceive you, it's how you perceive yourself. Because how you perceive yourself transfer thoughts into other people's mind, the perspective of you change. So each person will have a different perspective of you, of a version of you. So no two person will ever see you the same way because their perceptions are different. So that's why you will always have different opinions of other people of you. Each person will have their own opinions of you, and some may like you and some may not like you, but that is only their perception. But their perception shall not determine or define who you are. So only you can know who you are. Because for me, I used to live in a world where I constantly seek validation, where I would I was lost. I was lost. So I had to be true to myself. I've lived every type of life you could ever imagine. I've I've grew up in poverty. I've grew up poor, and uh, I used to lie to people. I used to be dishonest with people, and uh, those things, that was not me. I was lost in a world where uh, it's hard to explain because uh, the world is filled with 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 distractions, and society has conditioned us to live a certain way. And by living this certain way, we no longer care who we hurt. We no longer care who we take advantage of, because we are always strive to pleasure ourselves, to gain from other people's losses. And I've learned to appreciate those life experiences, to appreciate all those experiences, because it is what pushed me to be the person I am today. So I wouldn't change anything if I had to go back and change anything. So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is, if you see, however you view a person in the present moment, that is all that matters, because their past no longer exists. because they can choose to go either direction, in a negative route or in a positive route. Uh, what matters is their intentions, and what matters is the present moment's version of themselves. Because the past, people change constantly. Every day, people change. Like I've changed constantly since I was a newborn, and it was not until 2016 that my life began to change in a positive way, because I took a hard look at myself to see what I needed to change, to see the type of person I envisioned myself to be. So I've taken the route where everything I do is positive. Everything I strive to do uh, is to help others as well as help myself. I don't see myself as taking advantage of people, of the situations, because that will only lead you to a dark path, and that will attract to you those type of people you are. And this is when my life began to change into a positive light. And now today I've achieved pure happiness, freedom, peace of mind, and it seems like as far as financial aspect, it seems like money is flowing in all direction to me, because I've become that type of person in my mind. And as you adapt those new habits, then it becomes a lifestyle for you, and life begins to change for you, because you will attract exactly what you are, your actions, and your intentions. So this month has been a development for me in self-actualization, realization, and I've today I would consider myself the purest being as I can be. Uh, Kind, compassionate, friendly, loving, and I show respect to every beings, even this minute beings such as ants. I see them in the same light as a human being, because they too are having their own life experience. Who am I to say their life is less precious or less important than my life just because they are an ant? That's just seeing things from one perspective. You have not experienced the life of an ant, so how can you know your life is better than the ant's life? This is another key I would like uh, for a lot of people to understand is uh, life is all perspective. Life is all about perspectives. Um, that's why I'm grateful for everything that has happened to me, because I am able to see in multiple perspectives. Like I can line up 10 different people in a row, and can guarantee you I've been in their shoes. I've lived the life they've lived, so I can see through their eyes how they perceive reality and how they perceive the world around them. And that way I can approach them based on their level of understanding, because I cannot approach multiple people on the same level of understanding, because their perception is different. Everything about them is different. So this month, I've met a lot of people, a lot of beautiful people, and also not so beautiful uh, people, because they have lost themselves. Um, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that is the path they choose to go on. There's no such thing as wrong. There's no such thing as right. The only thing that matters is the experience you want from life. If you want to experience positive things in your life and beautiful things into your life, then you will gravitate toward the path that you will live a righteous, conscientious life with kindness, compassion, and uh, uh, love. But if you gravitate toward the other direction, the other end of the spectrum, that is what you will experience. And I'm not saying there is anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that is an experience. It is a choice. It is a choice we make for ourselves. That determines our future. So in the present moment, we can decide how we want to live our life and what we want to feed our minds, and that will, on a subconscious level, gravitate us toward people, events, and circumstances that shapes our lives. And a little, I've kind of deviated from the subject a little bit, but I find the information nonetheless very valuable uh, to whoever is watching. Um, it was more of a, this is how I myself forget who I am as an individual through unselfishness, through act of love, compassion. Oftentimes I forget myself in trying to help other people. So every now and then your consciousness will shift. This is how you can tell if you are uh, if you're living a life um, that is um, self-directed or that is all loving. If every now and then your consciousness shifts to yourself, to you, like as everything is about you, then there's something that needs to be addressed there. But if every now and then your consciousness constantly drift towards other people, trying to see life in their eyes, it's a habit for me that I've developed, and then it becomes a lifestyle. So I've become a very emotional person when it comes to empathy. I can feel people's emotions, and I can feel the energy because I've lived the life they've lived. I've been I lived a, I've lived through poverty. I've been homeless. I've um, I've been to the point where I didn't know uh, where food was coming from. That was not far away. That was uh, right after I graduated college, and that's when life really became difficult for me because uh, it pushed me out and forced me out into a world where society had was society conditioned me to think this is how life should be. But once I graduated college, I've come to the realization that it was all a lie. So I've had to force myself to adapt. So constantly I am adapting. I am changing to my environment, to the world around me, so my life can become beautiful. It's a beautiful scene today. It's a beautiful day. Pardon the noise. Motors going by. So, in whatever you can think, I've lived. One of the great uh, change in my life was when I went to jail. I went to jail for about about a year, over a little bit over a year. Imagine yourself locking yourself into a closet or into your bathroom. Imagine, if you will, you're just locking yourself into your bathroom for an entire year. You can only come out when someone tells you to come out, such as taking a shower. Well, you can take a shower while you're in there, so you don't need to take out. You get fed in there. That's my experience when I was in jail. It's the similar. Just imagine you being locked in your bathroom. You eat there, you shower there, you sleep there. The only time you get to go out uh, is when, well, the only time I really went out was uh, when I was going to court. That was like every every other month, I guess. So that experience has made me into one of the greatest versions of myself. At the time, it seems like it was a negative event. It was it, at the time it felt like it was a negative event, but it was a blessing in disguise. Like, this is what I want you guys to understand, especially in the now moment, as with everything that is going on. You may seem like your life is you are surrounded by negativity, you are surrounded by negative events, but that is actually shaping you to become stronger mentally and physically. So jail for me made me a stronger person mentally. And as far as a survival aspect. So in essence, it was preparing me for this world we are coming into, this world that is being birthed. It's a new ethos, a new era, if you will. Because this world is going to change so drastically that if you look past, um, you will not recognize it. You will not recognize it. So that experience for me is it was one of the greatest experiences I would never take back. If I had to redo my life, if I had to go back and re-experience life, I would. That would be the main experience I would want to get a lot more information from. So your life at the present moment may seem dire. Circumstances may seem dire, but it is preparing you. But you must look at yourself. You must look at your surrounding and see what you need to change and what has to be changed in order for you to grow. If you don't learn from your experiences, you will constantly repeat them. And I learned that the hard way. I've learned a lot of experiences the hard way. And most of my experiences, like especially being in jail for like over a year, most people's mind would crumble just being in that environment. Because if you look at today's now, we're in quarantine. A lot of people cannot um, bear just living at home. They can go out. They can still go out and do whatever they want. But just them being in the house alone, it's hard enough. But imagine just being locked in the bathroom for over a year. That forces you to look inwardly, to look at yourself deeply, and reflect on yourself and on your life. And that was one of my greatest manifestations that I didn't know that I didn't know I wasn't aware I created because of my previous thinking. But now I've come to fully realize, understand it, that this beautiful life I'm living today has always, all these past events has led to this. So this is why I'm grateful. And today I am one of the most kindest person, loving person, friendliest person you will ever meet in your entire life. So I am an open book. I tell it how it is. I am honest. I strive to be honest, especially to myself and to the people around me. And a lot of people has fallen out of my life uh, through no choice of their own or mine. The universe took care of what needed to be taken care of, and a lot of people. For me, it's easy for you to get into my life because I've always give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, I always strive to look for the best in everyone because I can see the best in people, and I can look past the physical. I can look within them and see their true person, their true nature. And because of that, I've I've always approached people with uh, with what's the word I'm looking for? I've always approached with people. I lost my train of thought there. Well, you can enjoy the view. So, I've always approached people with the level of giving them the benefit of the doubt, you know. But it's hard for a person once they get out to get back in. Because in order for them to get back in, I need to see a great change in themselves, and for them to be true to themselves. So as for me, this experience of life is beautiful. I life is. I wish everyone could experience pure happiness to see, because we can look at the same thing, right? Our perception is different. We will not see the same thing. We will not experience the same thing because our perception is different. This is what happiness is. Most people, they can look at this backdrop and they can just see a building and water and trees. But for me, I see beyond that. It's such a beautiful, calm environment. You notice every minute detail. You notice the wind in your hair, the wind against your skin, the blades of grass rubbing against each other, the crickets chirping in the background, the butterflies flying across the water, and the light reflecting against the building. It's the little things that you notice because your perception has changed that enable you to be in this state of being, of pure happiness, pure appreciation, pure gratitude, and love, because you see how beautiful life is. So I will leave the video at that. As you can tell, I'm exercising today, and just thought I'd make this quick video, guys, because my life continued to change, and who I was no longer exists. So if you think you knew me prior, uh, then you don't know me at all. If you think you know me in the present moment, still you don't know me because I haven't fully shared everything with everyone. So to think a person truly knows me, you cannot. You can only, that's only a few grains of sand you holding in your hand, thinking you may know me, but the rest of the beach is who I am. The rest of the sands on the beach is who I am. It would take years for me to explain to you who I am. That is why I think energy is key. Because once you're in the presence of another person, no words are necessary. You just feel the person. You just feel the personality. You feel their being, their true being. You feel who they are. That is why you can be in an environment or surrounded by people you feel negative vibes. That is your intuition speaking to you. That is your soul speaking to you, telling you about this person. And that shouldn't be ignored. So words cannot describe anything. Words cannot describe anyone. Only being in someone's presence can you truly know them, because you can feel the energy. You feel who they are. So guys, if you really want your life to change, you have to change who you are. Because if you constantly stay the same, nothing will change. I had to learn that the hard way. The hard way. You have to look deep within yourself. Uproot things that doesn't fare you well, and doesn't. You may justify this is why your life is this way, but you only lying to yourself. You can lie to other people, but you cannot lie to yourself. You can think you're lying to yourself, but the more you lie to yourself, the more your subconscious grab everything you're saying and reflect it right back to you in your life. And then you question, why is your life this way? Because you continue to lie to yourself, and your subconscious does not know the difference between a lie and facts. It only takes what you feed to it and play it back into your life as a tape recorder. So that's why you should be conscious of everything around you. So that's all I'm going to share, because I just wanted to share my life experience, my reflection of myself this past month. I've learned so much this past month than I've learned in previous years. Alright guys, take care.